Hi everyone, my name is Sumaya Ahmed and I am the Virtual Content Specialist for 7th grade Science. In this video, I will review how to use the greenhouse gases simulation on the Explore Learning platform. Explore Learning is a company that develops online solutions to improve student learning in science and math. So when you get into the website explorelearning.com, you can log in with your school credentials, your email address and password. And they have a free account, and they also have a account where you have to pay for a subscription. And here I have the free account. So when you first get in, you can click on Find Gizmos, and you can find them by academic standard, by grade topic, or by textbook. But I will just go to Free Gizmos, and you can narrow down your options from the tabs here, and I will go to the greenhouse effect gizmo and click Launch Gizmo. So you can create classes on this platform and add this video to your classes, so when students log in, they can access the gizmo and all the resources along with the gizmo. So here you have the simulation, and we have a description tab. We have a table, a bar chart, and a graph. So on the top here where it says lesson info, if you click on this, it drops down to more information and resources for the lesson. So here we have the description of the simulation and all the materials available to teachers. So in this simulation, it says within the simulated region of land, daytime's rising temperature and the falling temperature at night can be measured, along with heat flow in and out of the system. The amount of greenhouse gases present in the atmosphere can be adjusted through time, and the long-term effects can be investigated. So that is the description of this simulation. And here we have some materials, the lesson materials. So the student exploration sheet, it's in PDF and Word, which is great because if you want to make changes and differentiate it or add in any more questions of your own or omit some of the questions that they already have, you can do that. And they also have a Google Doc option where you can make a forced copy of a Google document. And I'll go into the student exploration sheet. You also have the teacher guide, which gives you information on how to conduct this lesson. So, they have some discussion questions, they have some follow-up questions, and the scientific background needed for this lesson. And they also have a vocabulary sheet in PDF and Word. And we have an answer key available, but that's only available to the subscribers. So let's look at the student exploration sheet, which is here. And it starts with the vocabulary words, just so students can get familiar with the vocabulary words that they're going to see throughout this lesson. And some prior knowledge questions before starting the gizmo. So the questions are about a car sitting in the sun for a long period of time, and this gets them thinking of the idea of heat being trapped in a space. Then the next part is a warm-up. So they say, like the windows of a car, greenhouse gases play a major role in regulating Earth's climate. And there are steps for students to complete on the gizmo and guiding questions based on the simulation. So as you can see, they say exactly what to click and the question to answer once they complete that step. So it says, set the greenhouse gases to 0% and the simulation speed to fast. So we can do that now. We set the greenhouse gases to 0% and the simulation speed to fast. And then it says click play. And as you can see, they have the sign, like which tab to click. So it says click play and view the bar chart tab. Then they ask what happens to the overall trend of the temperature. So if we go back to our simulation, we are going to be at the bar chart tab and click play. You will see that the overall trend for temperature, which is our T value, decreases through time. And you just let it play for a while. And students can see that the trend is slowly starting to decrease. It started all the way up here, and the temperature is decreasing. And this is when the greenhouse gases are at a 0. Then for the next part, it says now set the greenhouse gases to 100% and let the simulation run for a while. How does a maximum amount of greenhouse gas affect the temperature? So now let's go back to our simulation. Let's reset. We set the greenhouse gases to 100%. And we can slow this down a little bit if you want to. And you look at the simulation. So they do say to follow it for a while and look at the simulation. So as you can see, the temperature is high and the greenhouse gases are 100%. So as you continue with the activity, you can see more activities with the simulation and guiding questions. And here they ask to analyze the table, so we can see the values on the table too. So if you go back, there is the table feature, and you could see all the values, and some of the questions are related to the values on the table. And they have a predict question, and then they have experiment questions. Again, they tell you exactly what to click on the simulation. And at the end, they have students draw conclusions based on the activity they worked on. So they ask, based on what you have seen, how do greenhouse gases affect the heat flow into and out of the Earth's atmosphere? So this question aims to summarize the main ideas of the simulation. Here we also have an extension question, which you can assign as a challenge question or for extra credit. And here at the end, they have a note explaining how greenhouse gases raise the temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. So this is helpful for students so they can read a little bit more about how the greenhouse gases work and why they're called greenhouse gases. And again, you can change this handout in any way. You can rephrase the questions, you can add labeled pictures, graphic organizers, or any other resources that you find that your class may need. I would copy the vocabulary words. So remember on the simulation, they have a vocabulary section where you can get the vocabulary words and definitions. So what I would do is copy and paste the vocabulary words into the document, their student exploration sheet. That way they can always refer to them as they're going through the questions. And if you look at these questions, the vocabulary words are highlighted. So whenever they see that highlighted vocabulary word, you can model for them to go back to the vocabulary words on their handout and the definitions and use that to help them phrase their responses for the open-ended questions. So they have the words and definitions there for them. And that's why the Word format or the Google Docs format is so helpful, because you can modify this handout. Another resource that you can use for this lesson are the assessment questions. And they're all multiple choice questions related to the simulation, and these can be used as an exit ticket or a quiz after students complete the activity. And you can check your answers after you take the assessment. So to summarize, you can use this gizmo, which is a simulation showing how greenhouse effect works. You can use the student exploration sheet here. You can modify the exploration sheet to fit your class. You can use a vocabulary sheet, and you can use their assessment questions as a formative assessment. Thank you for watching.